Hey, it's Pastor James, and I'm glad that you are beginning this journey with us to cultivate wonder this Christmas season with our daily video devotionals. We're going to be using this book, Pauses from Advent by Trevor Hudson. If you'd like to get a copy, you are more than welcome to. We're not going to read from it, but we are going to follow the outline he has and the words that he chooses. And the first word for our devotional, you'll have a new word each day. The word today is prepare. Let me read you a scripture passage from Isaiah 43. It says, "A voice cries out in the wilderness, prepare the way of the Lord." That's from Isaiah. That is a prophecy of the coming of Jesus. It is interesting that he says, in the wilderness, a voice cries out. Wilderness is just another way to talk about wild, untamed, uncivilized places. It's interesting that we're told about Jesus that he's going to come from the wilderness. He's not going to come from the civilized places. And that's probably the one thing that drove the Pharisees crazy when they interacted with Jesus, is that he didn't enter into the world and into his ministry through their civilized experience, but he came through the wilderness. And that's just what God does. He reaches people in the wilderness. I know that when I was called into ministry and called back into the Christian faith, you could say that I was living in the wilderness. In fact, God literally showed up in my duplex when I was doing my work at Texas A&M, and there were pizza boxes and empty beer cans laying around, and it was no place that you would think God would show up. And he did. In that wilderness place, God showed up. If you've been having a wilderness experience, or if you know somebody who has been having a wilderness experience, have confidence in this. That's where God goes. And so prepare yourself, one, to be encountered by God right where you are. You don't have to get cleaned up and figure out the right way to act before God is willing to connect with you. Or if you know somebody who is in a hard place, far away from God, living in the wilderness, don't give up on them. That's the place that God is willing to go to find his people. The words that Isaiah had for Jesus are good words for us today. In the wilderness, prepare the way of the Lord. I would encourage you today that you think about the people in your life that may be living in that wilderness experience, far from God and struggling. And I would encourage you to do just one thing today. Either pick up a phone and call them, or text them with an encouraging word. And if that's not possible, then just take a moment to pray for them. And in the comments section, I would love to hear your story about what you did and how that worked, and how do you think God used that, or how did God touch your heart with that? So comment below and prepare your heart, prepare your way as we are this Christmas season cultivating wonder.